Okay, now you have two pieces of information and the paper here and then scratch paper, a lot of it, okay? Because each side has kind of three distinct problems. I mean, they tell you a piece of information, then you have to find different things from the information. So every side of the scratch paper, that's where we're going to do the work for each letter, okay? I'm not going to need any of this right here. Okay. Okay, so it's my scratch paper, and let's look at part A first. Football is punted from a height of 3 feet above the ground with a velocity of 45 feet per second. Calculate the maximum height. The maximum, if you remember, is just drawing a huge parabola, marking the max with an XY. We're not done till we know both of those. Okay. Opposite of B divided by 2 times A. That gives you the X, and the Y means replace X in the equation on the calculator. Okay, now let's write the equation. These are pretty easy to write the equations for. So gravity. Gravity is what's pulling the football back down. The gravity term is negative 16x to the second. And then what's the feet per second? 45. That comes next. You can't put 3. It's got to be 45x. And then it was started at 3 feet. So plus 3 and then equals y. Or you can put y equals in front. Doesn't matter. So I have my A, I have my B. So the opposite of B is negative 45. And then I'll be taking 2 times negative 16. That's negative 32. And then I divide. So negative 45 divided by negative 32 is 1.41. Okay, that's the seconds it took to get to that point. Now replace x in the equation on the calculator. So we need to just put 1.41 in for these x's. Okay, I got 34.64. And that's your maximum height, 34.64 feet. Okay, part A is solved, but you need to hand in the scratch paper too. I stapled enough of them together. So I'm going to write part A, and now part B. Okay. How high is the ball after 1 second? Well, now I'm not finding a maximum height. So underline feet and seconds. Those are always going to be the ones you're looking for, and you need to make your units, your graphic representation, and then kind of a big box for the equation. So the units are feet and seconds. X is seconds, Y is feet. So per feet per second is equal to 45. Same information, 45 feet per second. Okay, then I make my parabola, and I'm not really finding where it hits the ground at. Okay, so don't worry about it. Just write the equation, the gravity. It's the same equation, negative 16x squared plus the 45x, and then where you started from, which is 3. Same thing, equals y. Now, in the problem, 1 second is your replacement value. But which letter is that going to go in for? Seconds is x, okay? So I have an x here and an x here that need to be replaced with 1. So negative 16 parentheses 1 to the second plus 45 parentheses 1 plus 3 equals y. And there's only one answer for the y, man, because the y is by itself. It's to the first power. We can just plug that in on the calculator. So negative 16, because the x's are gone, times 1. If you plug it in for x, you can just plug it in on your calculator to find y. Okay. I got 32. Okay. So that's your answer. It says how high is the ball? It's 32 feet. Well, that makes sense. Okay. And then part C. How many seconds does the ball land on the ground? Okay, again, you're not finding the max, and there's 2 units involved, feet and seconds. So we go make the 3, this graphic organizer. So again, feet and seconds are my 2 units. That's in a gravity problem, they're always going to be there. And X is seconds, Y is feet. So per feet per second. And I know, again, that's 45. That doesn't change. Okay, same information. Okay, it's a parabola, and this time it says, when do we hit the ground? So you can mark the ground if you want, or you can just leave it. You don't really have to mark the point on the parabola on these problems. Okay, so negative 16x squared plus 45x plus 3 equals y. You want to do the work on this paper because you don't have enough room here. You just don't. Okay, so 0 is the replacement value. And 0 feet's going in for y. Okay, and that's right here. Now that's not going to be as easy because when I put 0 in for y, I still have x. And x is to the second power, so there's 2 answers. And not only that, we have the x second, but there's an x to go along with it, so we need to have our 0, which we do, and make our factoring boxes. Okay, so GCF, we have a negative in front, you bet. You have x on everything? No. On your GCF calculator, you can go 16, 45, and 3, and that's just going to be a 1, but it's negative 1, so we're going to factor that out. So that ends up as positive 16x to the second. That's negative 45, so put minus. Don't do that plus negative crap, and that's minus 3. Okay, so ABC that. A times C, we'll be taking 8 times negative 3, and that's, or 16, I'm sorry, 16 times negative 3, and that's negative 48. Since it's negative, on a story problem, there are almost always differences. Difference of 45. 1 and 48, well, that's close, but that's 47. And then 48 divided by 2 is 24. Well, 24 minus 2 is 22, so I'm too low now. Okay, I'm never going to get to a difference of 45, so fail. And we do our quadratic formula. Opposite of B, so positive 45, plus or minus the square root, parentheses to the second, minus 4. Sorry, I should have put the parentheses down before I started writing in numbers. That's on me. A is 16, and C is negative 3. Okay. Then 2 and 16. Alright, so I'm going to go out here to do the rest of my work. Okay, so I've got 45 plus or minus 2 times 16 is 32. Okay, you can make your 2 square roots with the minus, or you can just plug it into your calculator. It doesn't matter, okay? So opposite would be 45. Okay, so I go second square root, double it. 45, close it. Second power, minus. Then I have 4, 16, and negative 3, okay? 47.08 or 09. Okay, again, if you want to do the rest of it, you take 45 times. If you want to do it by hand, and then you take 4 times 16 times negative 3, put that product here, square root, and you're going to get this. Okay, so 45 plus 47.08, enter, divide that by 32, I get 2.88. I like to round to the nearest hundredth on these. 45 minus 47.09 divided by 32, negative 0.06. Now, which answer do I write? You're only going to write one of them. Now the negative makes no sense, so I'm going to cross that off, and 2.88 seconds is the answer. Okay. So again, maximum height, you just make your giant parabola, middle, opposite of B2A, write the equation, go from there. That's easy. But if you're not finding a maximum, you better get the side boxes and analyze the problem a little bit deeper. Okay, I'm going to go through another one. A basketball is thrown in the air from a height of 6 feet with a velocity of 40 feet per second. Find the ball's maximum height. Okay, so part A is the maximum height, just a big parabola with the point in the middle. Okay, so opposite of B divided by the product of 2 and A always finds the X maximum vertex. And the Y, we replace X on calculator. Alright, now equation, you got negative 16x squared again. Now let's go, we have a new problem, so there's going to be different. 40 feet per second, that's your X term. And the starting height 6 is your constant term. Okay, and I have the A and the B right away. I don't have any parentheses I have to FOIL, okay, like I do on those revenue problems we did a while back. Opposite of B, negative 40. 2 times negative 16, okay, and that's negative 32. Okay, so I'm going to divide 1.25. Okay, replace X on the calculator, so 1.25, 1.25, negative 16, 1.25, close it, second power it, plus 40, 1.25, plus 6, 31. Okay, so the 31, don't write 1.25, that's the time. You do put the 31 feet. Alright, part B, find the ball's height after 2 seconds. Now I'm not finding the maximum, so I need to analyze that problem a little bit deeper with my boxes. It's like an analysis chart. Okay, feet and seconds are the 2 units. I should not have to underline those for you to see that. X is seconds, Y is feet. Feet per second is 40. You don't have to worry about the units necessarily on the max, but now you need to. And you have to get X and Y written down correctly. Okay, it's a parabola, it's gravity, so negative 16x to the second power, plus 40x, plus 3, equals Y. Okay. Now the input value is 2 seconds. Well, 2 seconds is going to go in for X, so that's a good deal because I can get these X's that aren't like terms out of here. Okay, makes the problem pretty easy. Because now what letter do I have in there? I have Y. Well, it's Y to the first power, and it's already isolated, so we're just going to plug that into the calculator. Negative 16 parentheses 2 to the second plus 40 parentheses 2 plus 3, I get 19. Okay. So it was 19 feet. Alright. Now some of you might be wondering, they're like, well, 31 feet I thought was the max. Yeah, it goes 19 feet on the way back down because at 1.25 seconds we're at 31, and as I move forward I get to, like, say 2 seconds here. Well, then it'd be at 19 feet. Okay, and then part C I crossed out, and this is part C here. Okay, how many seconds has the ball landed on the ground? 0 feet. This is not going to be as quick and slick as the other two, because the replacement value is going to be a Y. So we have feet and seconds. X is seconds, Y is feet. Okay. So per feet per second is 40. Okay. Okay, and then write your gravity, negative 16x a second plus 40x. And where's the starting height? 6 equals y. Now this time the input value, it is in feet. Okay. Well, if it's feet, it equals y. Okay. So it's the y that's out. It's a lot better if it's the x, but it's the y. Okay, so the x is the letter we have to solve for, and it's to the second power, so there's two answers. And we have x squared and x, not like terms, so we have to factor. And good thing the zero's there. So there's 3 terms. 3 terms means I do a GCF. And then I'm going to make my t. Okay. So GCF, you got a negative in front, you bet. You have x on everything, you don't. Okay, 16, 40, and 6, if you punch those into the GCF calculator, you indeed are going to get a GCF of 2. So we need to factor out negative 2. Okay, so negative divided by negative is positive 8 with x to the second. Positive divided by negative is negative 20 with x. And positive divided by negative is negative 3. Okay. And remember, we want to do the ABC right here. So it's A times C, 8 times negative 3. And that's negative 24. So that's a difference of 20. 1 and 24, nope. 2 and 12. Okay, you're past 20. That's a difference of 10. Fail. Okay. So ABC's here, opposite of B, that's going to be positive 20, and then the big square root. Now remember how you want to do that. You want to make a parentheses to the second, minus 3 parentheses in a row, and then 2, and then A is 8. Okay, let's fill in these parentheses. So B, remember to get the minus here. So B is negative 20. We always put 4 in that parentheses factor, and then A would be 8, and C would be negative 3. Okay. All right, so plus minus, and we know we have 20 before the plus minus, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be 16 on the bottom. Let's see what happens with that. You can either go like this, put the minus, and you can put negative 20 times negative 20, and then 4 times 8 times negative 3. Okay, that equals 400. And this is negative 96. Okay, so I have 400 in front of the minus and negative 96 behind it, plus plus. So 496. Okay, you find the square root of 496, and that's going to be 22.27. Okay, let's plug it in on the calculator, so just make sure it's right. Double the parentheses. Remember to put a second parentheses in front. Okay, yep, same thing. So I got 20 plus 22.27 equals, and divide by 16, 2.64. And then 20 minus 22.27 divided by 16 is negative 0.14. All right, we don't want the negative. We're going to put 2.64, and that's how many seconds that took. And all the answers are pretty logical. Okay, you have one problem to do in A, B, and C1. Please use scratch paper and let me know if you're having difficulties.